And we have finally made it to the end of season 2. I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. If you're not familiar with our channel, well, obviously we're a channel that talks about The Walking Dead.
Are we?
Most of the time.
Oh my God.
We will occasionally talk about other stuff, but mostly we talk about The Walking Dead. And these retro reviews, again, if you're new, are where we are going back and reviewing all of the old episodes. And this is Jessi's first time ever watching the show.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really exciting to hear her takes on it, because it's just, I get to live vicariously through you, because I get to relive it all for the first time through you.
And I am living.
You are. We think.
Ooh. Am I a zombie?
I mean, you tell me.
It's in all of us, Justin.
Have you ever had the desire to eat a human being?
I'd rather not say.
You might be a zombie then.
I am a lesbian. You can cut that.
I'm not cutting that out. Nope. Once this. Nope. Nope.
Okay. No, I haven't.
But, okay, well, you might not be a zombie. But as long as you don't try to bite me, I'm fine with it.
Well.
But anyways. And plus, I don't think I'd taste good.
I wouldn't even need to bite you now. I could just kill you and you would be a zombie. We're all zombies.
That's true. So, yeah, you got to that. This episode, this is season 2, episode 13. It's called Beside the Dying Fire. It is the finale, and it is intense. It came out March 18th of 2012. It was directed by Ernest Dickerson and written by Robert Kirkman and Glenn Mazzar. Robert Kirkman being the guy that wrote the comics that this is based on. So that's cool to know that he helped write this episode.
Yeah, it is.
And what an episode it was.
Wow.
I told you some people was going to die.
Dude. Oh, excuse me. Woo! Sorry. Oh, yeah. Holy freaking... I almost cried. Also had some epiphanies. Also, the person that came out of nowhere with the zombies with no arms was so badass.
And I will tell you, to date, that person is, I think, I ranked like my favorite characters. And that person was like number 2, I think. Like that person. I won't say who, what they are, but I will say that person is one of my favorite characters to ever be on this show. They are an absolute badass, a great actor, and just a good character all the way around. So I'm stoked for you to get to meet them.
Yes, and the zombies on chains, I'm very intrigued.
And that's straight out the comics. Like they took that straight out the comics. Yep, and you'll find out all about it, why the zombies are on chains and why they don't have arms and jaws and all of that.
Oh, they don't have jaws. I was wondering. I mean, but how do they, I'll figure it out. You ain't going to tell me. It ain't no point in
you'll learn pretty quick at the beginning of season 3 who they, and I'm telling you, you're getting into prime Walking Dead now that you are getting into season 3. I'm so excited for you. But let's talk about this one while we're still in season 2. So, number 1, just overall, what did you think of the episode?
Oh my God. I got freaking chills. I almost cried. I had a few epiphanies. It was madness.
It was.
I loved it.
Wasn't it cool how they showed the flashback of how the zombies got from like Atlanta, like in the city, like they just wandered and then they hit the fence and it's just like this whole horde of zombies that's just going, and that gunshot completely redirects them.
Yeah, it's wild.
To Herschel's farm.
Of all places.
This is my farm. I'll die here.
He didn't.
Thank God. Did you think he was a goner?
No.
Like when he was sitting there shooting them, they were like, I thought he was a goner when I was watching it.
Well, you kind of gave it away a little bit because you were like talking about how Herschel turns into this like Dale-like person, and that was only one episode ago. So I was like, it
could have been for one episode.
He's got to keep my mouth shut.
But yeah, so I liked, my favorite line of the whole episode is when Herschel's like, he said, "Aren't you a man of faith?" And then Herschel said something like, "Jesus said he was going to raise the dead. I just thought he had something else in mind."
Yeah,
something like that. That was hilarious.
Good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I thought he had just something a little different in mind. But man, I think the worst, so interesting, like behind the scenes. So the actor that was in the RV that got eaten, which by the way, that looked like a terrible way to go.
Oh yeah.
Also, why didn't he lock the door? I mean, those zombies busted through that door entirely too easy.
Does the door lock?
Yeah.
You know what, though?
I mean, it's an RV. If people sleep in it, you certainly would have the ability to lock the door.
It's the zombie apocalypse, Justin.
That doesn't change the basic function of RV doors.
I know, but it might be broken because, oh no. Well, I was thinking that maybe it didn't close all the way or it didn't lock or something. That's what I was thinking in the moment. Because why wouldn't you?
Well, the actor that played him's biggest fear is being eaten alive. So he had to film a scene. So they said like his screaming and terror was like pretty genuine because that was just like a huge fear of his.
You know what? I hate a person in a mask. I do not go to haunted houses because that shit freaks me out, even though I know it's fake. And if I had to do that, I would freak out if I was in his position.
Oh, yeah. And it was brutal, too. Like the blood splatter on the window. Yeah. I mean, like, they were tearing his ass up. And then we lost poor Patricia, Otis's wife.
Yeah.
Did you think Andrea was a goner there for a minute?
I did. I thought she was a goner.
And you were okay with it, though, right?
I was. And I'm just like, she really is. I hate to admit it, but she's becoming a badass.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's definitely becoming capable. She's doing what she said she wanted to do. You know, just to not wash clothes. She wanted to be able to defend herself and defend the group. And she certainly was out there popping zombies.
Right. I was going to say she's a really good shot.
And then damn Carol, like the zombies fall. She's like, they got Andrea. Yeah. And then they just take off. And Andrea's like, guys.
Like, what
the F?
Andrea had multiple people drive away from her.
I mean, I bet.
Because they didn't know.
When you were Andrea, you used to seeing people leave you.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So I know we're kind of skipping all around here, but and if you're new to the channel, we don't really do like beginning to end recaps. We just talk about the episode and try to cover as much that we can think of. But, you know, so the episode started with the zombies, and I loved where, you know, Herschel and Carl like realized the zombies were there, and he's like that sudden panic, and he's like, you know, get down, you know, they go into the barn, set the barn on fire to try to distract all the zombies.
I wonder why didn't it distract them more? The zombies were walking away from the fire.
I think they knew there was food elsewhere. Zombies are very one-track minded, you know, like they think they've got food, they're locked onto it.
But I feel like every loud noise or whatever, they're going. So, and the fire was loud as all get out. And so I was just like, why? They need to be walking towards the fire. But
it got a good chunk of them. But
yeah, I guess.
It was just a crap ton of them, man. I mean, like, it was. But I honestly feel like, to be honest, like, zombies are pretty stupid. I mean, I understand a horde that size could bring the house down, but, like, couldn't you just go in the house, cut off the lights, and be super quiet, and eventually they would just wander away?
I guess, but at the same time, if that didn't work, you're trapping yourself.
That's very true. You're trapping yourself. I think what I would do is I would build a big box on top of the house and like cut a hole in the roof. Yeah. And then that way, if they do trap you inside or they start getting inside, you can like go up into this little box, lock the door, and eventually they would get bored and go away because they wouldn't see you. Or
you could take, oh my God, Daryl's advice, because he was like, I ain't going in there unless there's a tunnel I don't know about.
Old Daryl's just chilling on his bike. Thank God, too, because he saved, was it Carol he saved, right? Yeah, like, you know, Carol was in distress. And,
poor Carol.
And Daryl went to save her. Yeah, she's still at that damsel in distress phase.
And it's always got to be Daryl. Mm-hmm. I want Daryl to save me.
You want Daryl to save you? Mm-hmm. I like for Daryl to save me. Okay.
I
mean, if I was about to be killed, I would like for Daryl to come save me.
All right.
But no, and then, like, did you see the Lori moment that I told you was where I kind of, because up to this point, everybody was Lori hating, and I didn't hate Lori. Like, I've said it 1,000 times. Up to this episode, I was like, dude, I mean, she's done some dumb stuff, but I'm cutting her some slack, man. She's been through a lot. She's pregnant. Like, I don't hate Lori. But then the part where he tells them he had to kill Shane.
Yes.
And she's like, you literally, like 2 episodes ago, basically said that something's got to be done about Shane.
Exactly.
And Herschel already wanted to kick him out. So that would.
And why was she mad that Carl took him out? Because Why would you be mad about that? Carl saved Rick's life.
Oh, yeah. That's the point where a lot, like even myself, I kind of was like, okay, Lori's kind of a douche. That was the stupidest reaction to that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know Rick. And you know Rick's heart. You know that Rick's a good-hearted guy. You know he didn't just walk him out in that field and murder him.
Right.
Like, and Daryl and Glenn had already gotten back before they were aware of the zombies and explained that they found Randall and that he hadn't gotten bit, and like basically said that, you know, something was up with this whole thing.
Yeah, I immediately knew what you were talking about because I, at that moment, was like, I spoke too soon because on the last podcast, I was like, I don't hate Lori. I didn't. She hadn't done nothing for me to hate her for. But why? Nope. Like, Rick just explained everything to you, and if you found a reason to be mad about that, there's something wrong with you,
and that shows that maybe you weren't being sincere in the acting like you were not into Shane anymore. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a part of you. And I mean, you know, a part of me wants to be like, I understand, because regardless of whether she was back to being she was back to being... I understand that you had feelings for him at one point and hearing about him, but like, you have admitted that something's wrong. I don't know if maybe her conversation with him right before all that happened, maybe, you know, it was just kind of a reaction to like, we just got okay. But it's like, no, I don't think it's your fault. I don't think because a lot of people were like, that was stupid of her to go talk to him. And I was like, I don't think so. I think she was trying to be a grown up about it and like make things right if they were going to live together. She
probably just needed to get all that off her chest anyways.
And she said, I put you and Rick at odds. Like, she's saying, like, I know that I did something wrong and I'm sorry. Like, I thought it was a very mature moment for Lori. Like, that was much better than, and I think she came to the realization of, like, we're going to all live together. Like, we're going to have to get past this. And I'm going to have to, like, you know, grow up and go out, you know, go apologize. And that's what she tried to do. That's why I was like, I don't think it was shitty she talked to him. I thought it was nice that she tried to put in the effort. It's just his fault that he took that as must kill Rick.
Yeah.
But, you know, but then when she did that whole, like, don't touch me. I was like, all right, now I'm, screw you. That's messed up. That dude just went through a lot. He had to kill his best friend, which broke his heart. And he killed him basically over you.
Yep.
Because if you weren't in the picture and they reunited, they probably wouldn't be nearly as at odds.
And she literally just said, he's dangerous. And something needs to be done. Like, what did you think needed to be done then?
Because Herschel wanted to kick him out. So, like that's already been proposed.
Jeez, I don't know what her deal is.
Did you see when the camera panned up at the end of the episode? Did you see what was out there?
Dude, okay, and this is what I think it is, okay? I'm going to give you my prediction. I think that's another place where people are that's like another group of people, and they're like super secure in there, and they're right there at it. And all the people in Rick's group want to give up on him and go away, but it's like they're right there at this safe haven. Just across the water in the woods.
Maybe. But may I also add in that scene, because of course I'm not going to tell you if you're right or not. You just have to wait and see. But isn't it also funny, like Herschel's got a big man crush on Rick.
He does.
like big time. I mean, think about the killing Randall. I leave it to Rick.
Yeah.
I put my faith in Rick. Then like when they're all there kind of panicking, like, do something. Rick's like, I am doing something. And you know, they're like, he's like, y'all listen to Rick. He's so cute. I mean, he knows what he's talking about.
He's so cute.
Like Herschel has a big old man crush on Rick. I think Herschel has a ton of respect for Rick and just respects him as a person. And
I agree.
You know, has fully at this point Herschel has fully put his trust in Rick to lead them.
Yeah.
And it's like for me, like I'm not saying I can't follow. I mean, obviously I have a boss at work, but when I think about being in that situation, like I think the kind of person that I would like, I don't see myself being able to put that much faith in another person. Like, I fully will do whatever you tell me because I trust in you. So, like, Rick must be a hell of a guy for Herschel to feel that way.
Well, he doesn't have a reason not to, because Rick has proven himself to Herschel over and over.
Time and time again.
In all of them, but they're being little douchebags.
Yeah, they really are.
But Daryl's on his side, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't think that I know he said he was, like he said that to Carol, but, and when he was giving his little, like, he's mad at them speech because he killed his best friend for them, basically, T-Dog, the way he looked at him and he like looked away real quick, like, I am not in this conversation.
Just gonna see my way out of this one.
He's like, I'm not here right now.
Look, man, I ain't trying to be killed either. So, but no. And then how about that reveal of why people were coming back without bites?
Oh my God! So I Snapchatted you earlier because I thought I had an epiphany and I figured it out, but I did not figure it out all the way.
Yeah.
Because I figured out that the reason he had shot Tony in the head, well, you said it would come back eventually. I didn't know at the time when I thought I figured it out that he really did know.
Yeah.
He knew all along, but also, is Lori pregnant with a zombie baby? Because it's in him. And that's double zombie because you got the egg and the sperm.
Well, I mean, maybe if the baby died, you got to die first to become a zombie. So
does it come out a zombie? Oh my God! I hope it comes out a zombie. I want to see a zombie baby.
Just watch the remake of I don't know if you were there. I thought you were there. Me, you, and an ex of mine and an ex of yours all had a movie night at her house, so we watched the remake of Dawn of the Dead, where they were in the mall and that woman gives birth to a zombie baby.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I'll always go back and watch that.
Yeah. That happened in that movie, and that was terrifying. That scene was disturbing.
Holy shit. But yeah, Rick knew the whole time.
That they're all in. Whatever it is, they've all got it.
So that's why he shot Tony in the head.
Which I will say leads to a lot of confusion. So it sets up some cool plot points, right? Because anybody you're with, honestly, I don't know that I'd ever be able to sleep well because, like, what if the person you're laying in bed next to dies in their sleep?
Right.
They're going to come back a zombie.
Ugh.
So it leads to some cool plot points and devices they use later, but it leads a lot of confusion. Like, okay, well then what about the zombie bite? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess the thought is that the zombies are dead and they've got a lot of bacteria and nasty shit because dead bodies carry a lot of diseases, so that when they bite you, the bite gives you a fever and the infection kills you, and then you come back a zombie. But then my thought is like, okay, well then, so if that's the case, if what turns you into a zombie is when you die, you come back a zombie.
Right, because there's no infection there.
So if zombie bites, kill you, then, like, couldn't you treat them with, like, antibiotics? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not because the way most zombie shows and movies work is like when the zombies, they have the virus. So when they bite you, that virus travels up your blood and into your brain and turns you into a zombie. But, like, here we learn that that's not how it works, that, like, you become a zombie once you die.
Did they ever clear this up?
Not really, no. And there's been some debate, but, like, that's my big thing that I just can't fully grasp is the fact that, like, okay, I get it. The zombies are nasty, so when they bite you, you get a nasty infection. That nasty infection kills you. I mean, like, is it a 2-stage virus? Like, part 1 is in the zombie's mouth and part 2 is in your brain, and The Walking Dead gets a little, I will say, they get a little loose. Like, so, in the first season when they covered themselves in zombie guts, and it's like, don't get any in your eyes or in your mouth or any open cuts. But then there's, like, parts down the road where you'll see characters completely covered in zombie blood and guts.
Daryl.
And, like, it's like, so.
Or like they cover themselves with zombies to avoid getting got by a zombie.
Oh yeah, so they're a little loose with how this virus works, and that's probably one of my main gripes. And it's really not a big deal because the story's still great, but there are points where you're like, I'm so confused on how this virus works.
Well, maybe it's something that we don't understand as humans. Maybe it has something to do with aliens. Maybe the aliens.
Well, cool fact. So that's how Robert Kirkman got this show signed. So.
Oh, you told me
he tried to go to, like, the HBO, and HBO considered it, which I still think, how dope would it have been if this show would have been on HBO, because it would be way more violent, way more language, and it would have been, actually, there's only, I think, 2 times, if I'm remembering correctly, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's only 2 times where they drop the F-bomb in this show, and Daryl drops it both times.
Of course he does.
But I think it's only twice. But, if HBO would have got it, the sex scenes would have been way more graphic. It would have been a lot more sex. It would have been, HBO, I would have loved to have seen an HBO version of The Walking Dead. But, he had to tell AMC that, really what it is like aliens are responsible, and that was the only way they would sign. And then finally it was like, you're not bringing aliens in, are you?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, I mean, they could have done experiments, and it's not anything that humans would have known about.
There's been speculation based on some things that it's alien space spores.
And it could have gotten in the water or something, or it could be under the ocean stuff that we don't know about.
But so we all know that everybody's got it.
Okay, everybody has it.
So even if somebody dies, no matter how they die, slit their throat, break their neck, they're coming back, which is cool.
I just had a vision.
Okay.
What if the car wreck really did kill the baby, and the baby turns into a zombie inside Lori and eats her from the inside out?
That'd be hard considering babies aren't born with teeth.
It's a zombie baby, and nothing else in this show makes sense, so I think they could.
It's going to be gumming on her inside.
It's just going to claw at her until it just comes through.
I don't know. That could
because
be pretty
babies
gnarly.
are born with fingernails.
They are.
Sometimes they're really long.
Yeah, it's true. So maybe. What did you think about? I'm trying to think who. So we lost Patricia, and was Jimmy.
Yeah.
And then we, of course, have Andrea stumble away, and she's just at the end of her rope, and all of a sudden, somebody saves her. What do you have any predictions of who this could be, or
I think they're from that place that they showed at the end of the episode.
Do you think it's a man? Do you think it's a woman?
I think it's a woman. I immediately thought it was a woman because a man is not that badass.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
You just went on about how much you wish Daryl would save you because he's so badass.
But I think it's a woman. I just thought it was a woman. I had no doubt that it was a woman.
Well, we will see. And this character is fantastic. Season 3, I'm telling you what, I'm so excited. Which it's Friday, so we won't be talking about that till Monday. Yes. But I am so stoked because it's so what have you so far, now that you've wrapped up season 2, looking back on the whole season, what do you think? Was it a good season?
It was wild. It answered so many of my questions. We tied up loose ends, except for freaking Merle. I'm just waiting on him to come back. I need to know about this baby. I'm excited. I really want to know where they go now.
What do they do now? They don't have, and that's sad too because they had a good thing going.
They did. And you know what?
That farm was the perfect place to be in an apocalypse.
Now that I think about it, why didn't they set up some type of barrier?
I think eventually it would have happened. I mean, you got to think what all has transpired this season. I mean, they spent the first half looking for Sophia, and that's where all their efforts were.
That's true.
And then not long after that, you got Herschel at the bar, and Rick goes to save him, and then Shane goes crazy, and it's they never, I guess
they were a little busy.
Yeah, if that horde wouldn't have come through, I certainly think on the docket would have been to have built some kind of, I mean, what you got to think, too, think about the amount of materials. That was a big-ass farm.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe even if you don't do the farm, you just do around the house, but still the materials you'd have to find.
Yeah.
You can't go to the department store and buy them or to the Home Depot. So you're going to have to go scavenge the materials to set up a wall around, the area. But I think they certainly would have.
Yeah, I think they would have figured something out.
But and that's kind of a theme for next season is walls.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do think that they're going to meet a whole new group of people, and I think they're going to be at that place.
What was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh my freaking God. I'm glad you asked. It's the part where I almost cried, where Herschel, Rick, and Carl had gone back to where they had left that stuff for Sophia. And Herschel was telling Rick, you have to just focus on Carl now. We can't worry about everybody else. Focus on Carl. And Rick was like, no, they will be here. They're coming. And then Herschel finally got through to him maybe Rick was thinking Herschel was right. I just have to focus on Carl now. And so he was starting to have the conversation with Carl about it. And it was about to be a real hard conversation to have. And then everybody's, I'm getting chills. I got chills. And then they heard the motorcycle. And then here comes everybody else just filing in. And it was just like,
how about old T-Dog? He was going to leave him.
Oh.
He's like, I ain't going back.
Can you imagine being Lori in that situation where somebody is making you leave your child behind? Like, you're not in control of that car. I would have done the exact same thing she did. I would have jumped the fuck out of that truck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No way. And I'm glad that he decided. I was about to not like T-Dog.
Yeah, and I understand his perspective, too, of like, dude, we can't. It's not that I don't want to. Like, we can't go back. Like, Glenn and Maggie barely made it out in a vehicle, you know.
But Glenn was being like so badass,
hanging out
the car,
blasting that shotgun.
I got excited. I mean, not like that, but like I was just excited for Glenn in that moment because like him and Maggie are like the fucking dream team. And
how I felt so bad for Maggie, too, when she was all distraught and crying because she didn't know if, like, her dad made it. She's like, Beth, Jimmy, Patricia, and Beth, she almost got too. Yeah. She was with Patricia when they just swarmed her and bit a big old chunk out of her neck.
I don't know how they didn't get her because they stood there for a minute.
They was just focused on it. And she wouldn't, like, let her go on it. And she'd, like, have her hand and, like, she wouldn't let it go at first.
Can you imagine, like, just being that close to the person, like you're holding hands and
as they're getting eaten alive. Yeah.
And like you couldn't save them.
Yep.
Survivor's guilt. 100%.
Oh, there's got to be a lot of that in this show.
I imagine.
But yes, I'm trying to think if there's any, it's so much happened this episode, but basically the farm is gone.
The farm is gone. Shane is dead. Rick, man, you know what? When he was doing his little speech, I saw a little bit of Shane in him when he was getting angry, like he even his voice sounded like Shane.
I told you he's, but like he needs that. Like Rick truly always had good intentions, but as we see, things just didn't always work out. But and it's like Rick needs some of that Shane. Yeah. To and especially in the coming seasons. I mean, it's going to be some rough shit they're going to go through.
Dude, I'm ready.
Not that many of them are going to make it through. So the question is, who do you think? So, all right, let's just jump into season 3. So season 3, I think, is full 16 episodes.
All right.
Who do you think is going to die next season?
Herschel.
Not Herschel.
Maggie.
You think Maggie's going to die?
Yes, because I don't want her to, and her and Glenn just, I'm loving it. I'm loving what's happening.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. I'm loving what's happening with her and Glenn, and I just feel like they're going to rip it out from under me.
Okay.
But I don't think Glenn's going to die. I hope not. But anyway, definitely not Rick, because I saw him on one of the later episodes looking all Jason Momoa-ish. According to you.
All grizzly.
Let me think of one more person.
So you say Herschel's going to die. You say Maggie's going to die.
Well, I'm going to go with either Andrea or Lori.
Okay. So either Andrea or Lori.
Or both.
We'll see.
And now that I do not. Well, she has to have that zombie baby first. Well, that's how she's going to die. She's going to die from the zombie baby. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Lori.
Let me tell you, doing this one episode at a time thing is going to kill you in season 3 because people complain and say that season 2 was too slow. So if I think most of the fans would agree with me in the comments section that season 3 and part of like season 4 are like the best parts of the show. I mean, still plenty of great things after that, but those are 2 of the best seasons of the show. So imagine that those people thought season 2 was slow, but you and I loved it.
Yeah.
How much more intense season 3 is going to get?
I can already see it now. I'm going to, immediately after we finish a podcast, I'm going to go home and watch the next episode. And then the very next day, I'm going to be like, can we podcast tonight? Because I can't watch the next one until we podcast. I'm going to be texting you every day.
I'm down.
Can we podcast tonight? Can we just do it tonight?
I'm down. We'll just have to start. I'm sure the listeners won't complain about throwing a few bonus episodes in there. But and I think, like I said, I think next season is where they get to like their 16 episode like standard run, and then from every season past that it's 16. So This one stopped at episode 13. So, like, that would be 3 more episodes before you end.
I'm excited.
How do you rate this episode out of 1 to 5?
I'm going to give that a 6, a 10.
A 10 out of 5.
As high as it'll go.
It's double as good.
It goes to 11.
I mean, it was a solid episode, man. It's definitely one we always think about. Herschel with his infinite ammo shotgun. I mean,
I meant to bring that up.
Like, we all, we're all from the South here. We know how shotguns work, and like that shotgun just never ran out of ammo. Did not,
and I really didn't. I didn't pay attention to it until like at the very end of it, because Lori was sitting there trying to get his attention, right? And it was just like all that going on behind him. And then after I thought about it, I was like, I could hear him cocking that shotgun the entire time. Like, that's not realistic at all.
Yeah.
Where did I get one of them at?
That I got one over there that holds 8 rounds, but I don't think that one he had did.
No.
But he was pumping that thing like it did, and I mean, just boom, like 5 minutes later, boom, just going. But Herschel he's like, this is my farm, I'll die here. I was like, no, Herschel, don't die here. I can't take 2 old man deaths in like 2 episodes.
You have to be the Dale now.
We just lost Dale. Don't do this to me. I can't lose another father figure. Grandpa. That's the German way of saying grandfather.
Grandpa.
Grandma.
That was the same. What is it, grandpapa?
Grandpa. But yeah, it was it's been a long day, but it was a darn good episode. Darn good season. Like I said, I still hold season 2 in very high regard because it was where I fell in love with the show. I liked season 1. I got into it. But by season 2's end, I was like, I love this show. I just was like, oh my God, this is # Walking Dead is life,
That was before hashtags.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, they had them.
No,
I think I posted
not.
a status in like 2012. It was like, I don't understand how hashtags work.
Okay, maybe we had hashtags, but we didn't understand how they worked at all.
I just thought people were being dramatic on Facebook.
Agreed. It took me a long time to figure out hashtags.
Because it'd be like, the school system needs to get their shit straight. Hashtag unhappy parent. I'm like,
what?
That's so stupid. Why don't you just be like, I'm an unhappy parent?
Hashtag we are old.
Yeah. We are getting old and soon we'll die and come back as zombies.
Oh, no. Somebody wanted us to give them a shout out. Did you see that?
I didn't.
And my phone is so slow. I was trying to find it, but I'm stuck here. So it was on the 2 episodes ago. So not the one from today, but last Friday.
Let me see. Let me find it. Let me see. All right, my phone's being stupid. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, my phone's rubbing off on your phone.
So this was which episode?
The one from Friday.
So that would be episode
11.
11. All right, let's go to that. And let's look in the comments. Who wanted a shout out?
It's like it starts with a D. D.
I don't see someone. They specifically asked for a shout out.
Hold on. If my phone would ever get to it, I will tell you. It is. Is it? Yeah, the Nerd Dungeon. He said, or this person said, I'm so excited for her to see season 3. Crossing my fingers for a shout out.
Shout out, Nerd Dungeon.
Hey.
Hey.
What up? I'm excited for season 3 too.
We're super excited for season 3, and it'll be here on Monday. So it's Friday. It's been a long week.
Look, I was real confused for a second.
I gotta hit the outro music. I'm tired, but I'm glad we made it. We got through season 2.
Here we go.
You're officially hooked, and you're gonna get into some wild snit. Let me just say, nobody is safe in season 3.
Ooh.
Nobody.
Not even the zombie baby.
No. Especially not the zombie baby.
Oh.
So, thank you so much for checking us out. If you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and following our channel. It'll help us out a lot. We'd really appreciate it. Give us a like because that helps the YouTube algorithm. Comment, even if it's just, hey, that helps the algorithm too. But yeah, show us some love and we'll show you some love back.
Just comment where you're from. That's cool. I like that.
Just comment.
Just
comment chameleon. But comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll be back for the premiere of season 3 on Monday. I'm Justin.
I'm Jessi.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. Peace out.
Bye.